Horses are suffering from having bad owners everywhere. It's a massive shame on you. Let's get into it. Welcome to Tales and Truths, beautiful animal lovers. I'm so happy that you're here. Please like and subscribe. That really helps this animal-loving channel. So we're going to talk about horse welfare today. It's a massive topic, as is any topic concerning animal welfare. When it comes to horses, many people perhaps get a horse for their children, and possibly these children aren't mature and responsible enough to look after a horse, which is a daily responsibility. So perhaps the parents wind up looking after the horse on many days, hastily. It is, of course, also often the case that adults get horses for themselves without enough knowledge on how to look after a horse. It may also be about the lack of turnout, limited social interaction for the horses, and poor owner recognition of stress and pain in a horse, for example. And all around the Western world, horses live unhappy lives because of this. So many horses are neglected and abandoned, and when it comes to the lack of knowledge in horse owners, it's a challenge that people don't like to be told that they don't know something. If someone has a horse, education never stops. I don't care if someone has been riding horses for 50 years, they still need to take a lesson at least once a month. And if someone can't offer a horse a place with turnout, they really can't get a horse. You can't keep a horse imprisoned in a small box. Learning how to read and communicate with horses is part of a life with horses, if you have a horse of your own or not, and making sure that the horse is properly looked after with nutrition, the right equipment, fitting equipment, proper hoof care, dental care, veterinary care, and good steady relationship to the owner, one that is logical to the horse. It's all basic, should be basic in horse ownership. Huge problems with this is the case all over the world, but through an article in Horse and Hound published September 30th, we're going to focus in on England and Wales. In a webinar on September 17th, Mark Kennedy, Senior Scientific Manager for Equines at the RSPCA, gave a speech because of research that has been made and because of a toolkit created by Human Behavior Change for Life, a community interest company, as part of the ongoing Horse Sense project. Research has shown that there is a crisis and that most equines in England and Wales are not having their welfare needs fully met. The RSPCA published the Horse Sense Research Project in March. This was also described in an article in Horse and Hound. Lack of turnout and owner knowledge means most horses do not get what they need. Lack of turnout and a dearth of owners with appropriate experience are among the drivers of the current equine welfare crisis, as most horses' needs are not being met. The RSPCA has published Horse Sense, a comprehensive report commissioned by the charity and carried out by the University of Bristol, Humane Behaviour Change for Life, and University College Dublin. The term horse crisis was initially used by the welfare charities in about 2012 owing to the number of equines needing charitable support since the financial crisis. But although the number of horses taken into RSPCA care has dropped to below 2013 figures, many horses continue to suffer at the hands of their owners, the report states. The research found a lack of basic knowledge and experience in many people caring for horses. Suggested reasons for this include the reduction in number of riding schools and of opportunities for people to work on yards to gain experience. The key drivers were a proliferation of horsekeepers lacking in practical knowledge skills, a mismatch of the supply and demand of certain equine types, a lack of equine keeping facilities with adequate provision for turnout, grazing and socialisation, and a lack of provision for the lifetime welfare of all equines, including planning and careful decision making from birth to death. So in the September article, Horse and Hound writes about the toolkit that has been created, how to change owners' behavior to make their horses' lives better. The first level in this toolkit is a one-page document setting out what horses really need for a good life. Let's hope that horse owners can read one page, and challenging the user to make one change. Dr. Kennedy said the idea is not to educate owners, as few owners feel they need education. Not going to comment. But to encourage people not only to change that one thing and more, but to start looking at horse welfare differently. Then they talk about having the document displayed in livery yards and having an app where people can post their pledges to change. Well, I don't care about words in an app, to be honest. If people have an animal and they don't learn how to look after that animal, it shows such a basic lack of interest in the animal. It boggles the mind. And that so many people think they know everything when they know very little is a tragedy for countless animals. You can't know something if you haven't actually learned it. To all the horse owners and animal owners overall that do the same thing with other species, I don't believe that a document is going to change very much. But for every horse that does see a change, of course it's a good thing. But I really only have one thing to say to people who are like that. And it's shame on you.